So 2018, one of the things that we're going to be doing different, not so much different, but we're adding, is we're going to do more titanium. We've been dabbling in titanium a little bit. Say dabbling, we've been making a few pieces and kind of learning the material, making sure we're comfortable with it. Well, we set up with Tycon, which they do a ton of titanium. They have pretty much everything you need. And one of the cool things is they sell these segment bends, these pie cuts already packaged, ready to go. This is a 45-degree bend right here. Each one of them is cut at 4.5 degrees, 4.5 degrees on each side, times 5, 45 degrees. So we have tons of these. This is so cool. They have the O2 sensor bones, flanges, and V-bend flanges too, which we have, as well as 90-degree bends and straights. You can see the straights down here. We're going to kick off basically the first project with an X-pipe. We're going to use our C7 Corvette and rebuild the X-pipe. They make a bunch of X-pipes already for that car, but they tend to be all stainless. There is a 2 3/4 version and a 3-inch. We're going to remake the complete X-pipe 3-inch, and depending on size, we might do double X's in there, which they call them a double helix. I don't know why, but there is basically 2 X's back to back. Smooths out the tone, makes them sound a little bit smoother. The one I have on there right now is a 3-inch with double helix, and we have the Acrovic exhaust, which doesn't fit the factory exhaust. So the X-pipe I have on the car right now is by Corsa. It has the double X's there, as you see. There's one, and then back here we did a slight modification to fit into the Acrovic axle back. We actually cut it here and made this a true 3-inch and changed the angle a little bit so it fits right onto these. So it's a true 3-inch. This is the titanium Acrovic that we put on just recently, and I've done one track day with it. Not only is this lighter, it sounds terrific. Well, the weight reduction part is to change this part in titanium. So I'm going to show you the other one I have. I have a different X-pipe as well as the stock one, so I'll put those three side by side so you can get an idea of what they look like. Okay, so this is the factory X-pipe right here, and as you see, it's not the nicest, prettiest looking thing. This is obviously manufactured by a fat bloke called Bob. Over here, this is the Corsa with the 2 X's. This was the one I just took off the car. In my opinion, this one sounded the best. It had the smoother tone, but believe it or not, it lost a little bit of power over this one. This is the Borla. It's 2 3/4, and it necks down right after the flange. You see right here, this is 3-inch where the flanges are, and that's where it necks down. And I don't know if it's the power from the smaller diameter or from the single X. So we are going to reproduce this out of titanium. So we're going to do, a comparison. I'll get a good picture of them side by side, as well as we'll get a weight comparison. Yes! I made it back from my famous store, Walmart. So 0 to 50 pounds, so we can pick up anything that's up to 50 pounds. So I take the stupid scale. Yeah, cool. Comes with instructions. Yeah, it's awesome. Doesn't come with a battery. I'll take the back off. There's no battery, and of course, it's some mysterious watch battery, which there's like 12,000 different batteries, and they're all a little bit different. Why wouldn't you sell it with a battery installed? I mean, it was 14 bucks. Okay, it's cheap. Make it 20 and put a battery in it. Now I'm gonna go find a battery. If you're buying one of these from Walmart, buy a battery. All right, so I'm using my engine hoist right here to hold the scale. Gotta sit on the hook. This is the stock system. Let's see what this sucker weighs. Almost ended up with the engine hoist on top of me. All right, take two. Take two, stock. C7 ZO6 midsection X-pipe thing. 25 pounds 10. Alright, next one is the aftermarket X-pipe. This is the bowler. Let's see what this is. This one feels substantially less. 18 pounds 3. All right, now for the Corsa. This is the one that's 3-inch and it's double helix pipe. It's settled at 22 pounds. So switching from this one to the Borla, it picked up almost 20 horsepower to the wheels, which is the one with the single X. And this one, it actually lost about 8 horsepower. And again, that's back-to-back testing, so I know it's not just a cool down run or anything like that. So I think we are going to make that style, but out of 3-inch. So I'm going to kind of take basically the two, what I think is the two best. We basically made a little fixture here, so we have an idea of where to build this area and where our X is. This is where the X is, and it's funny, that's where the X is on the factory pipe, and it's the same on this one. So I think GM have probably put that in that area for a reason, because it could go anywhere. So we're going to build off this and start making our parts out of titanium. So what's nice is Taycan offer these 2-bolt 3-inch flanges, which are the same ones that we're using right off our headers, and these are titanium too, so we're saving weight on the flanges. So we made this fixture so it also gives us, you know, the bolt separation and the rotation of these flanges, so we can build up here and know that's the right angle when we put it back on our car. So when you start off with an expensive 90-degree titanium bend, you don't want to cut this in the wrong place. Typically we eyeball this stuff. We don't use any computer programs or anything like that. We do everything with our hands and eyeball. So just to be sure on this one, what we did is we actually made a 90-degree bend out of cardboard, so we could play with some angles. So that is a 3-inch 90-degree bend. So what we did is figure out the angles so we can make a very small X, which is how they did it, which is basically we put the two parts together and, you know, we come up with this. So let me show you one that I cut based off this fixture. See, the nice thing about cardboard is you can cut it, trim it, cut it, glue it back together, tape it, and end up with the angle that you want. But basically this is what we did, is we cut it just like that cardboard. So this is going to go like this, and this is going to go like that when I get them all situated right. If you can see that, we basically, once I situate that right, something like there, give or take. So basically what we're going to do is this is where our X is going to be. Once these are situated right, it's actually a perfectly straight line. So basically we're going to be cutting this here and then sanding it so two of them go side by side, because these parts here where this X is going to go, these pipes are only about this far apart to fit in the tunnel. So we measured we need a very small X. So here's our first one I cut, and I just brushed the pipe. I'm going to cut up another one and get it prepped, and then we have to clean all this before we start tacking. It has to be very, very clean titanium, so you got to spend an extra amount of time cleaning the material and the rods and everything around it. Alright, so these are the two pieces I've cut. I've got to finish brushing. You can see I brushed one of the pipes a little bit, and we're going to sand it and get those things to fit absolutely perfect. So hopefully we're going to end up with something pretty close to this when we're done. Obviously that section there is that there, and it's going to be close to here. This is where our X lines up, so that is about where those pieces are going to go. Alright, so our pieces are tacked right here. We're going to cut a little bit off here to get those X's to balance out, so it'll be, you know, closer around there. So we're going to weld these now, back purge them, weld them, and then we can cut the piece out here to allow the crossover, which is what gives it the cooler tone. Here is one piece welded. Again, if you contact Taycan, they can set you up with everything, including the right torch. This is one that we got from them. and this is what it looks like. It's all back purged, of course. We're not using those super duper fancy plugs that you see everyone using because, I don't know, we haven't got any, and I don't really want to spend $100 on a plug when some super duper aluminum foil and elastic band has worked for me for years. Alright, another piece for the X-pipe. This is one of the legs that go from the X-pipe to the rear axle. I see there's a lot of pies in there. We use the smooth 90-degree bends for our X, but the rest of it we're doing pies or segment bends, however you want to call them, but that is looking really good. And we're back purged, so we know we're strong on this one. So this was a scrap piece that we did a little bit of practice on. We didn't back purge this because, again, we were just kind of playing with it, trying to get an idea of how the rod would react to it and what kind of heat we would need. So it's not back purged, but I figure I would see actually how strong it is and see if it's going to hold up. Obviously, back purging is going to make it stronger. So let's do a little test with this. Make sure it's in frame. That was close. This stuff's dangerous.
It sounds good.
It almost hit me in the head. So, it's flat, somewhat. So, part of the way welded is good. We did have a tack on the other side, which broke. I guess that's pretty good. I guess that stuff's pretty strong, so I think with back purging, I'm fairly comfortable, even on the bends here, I'm fairly comfortable that we're not going to have an issue with this stuff. Alright, we're going to do an official weigh-in here. The only thing that is missing are the hangers. The company milled them out late, so they're not going to be here until Monday, but they're two small hollow hangers. So let's see what we have.